Just like previous seasons this year, we're going to spotlight the various high-profile local hockey teams around the island, and we're going to start off with the Joneljim Cougars in the Nova Scotia Major U15 League, who are coached by former Cape Breton Eagles forward Mike Lyle, and Mike's Cougars are getting ready to kick their season off this weekend on home ice. Mike, how excited are you for your home opener?
Super excited, Pat. It's exciting for the kids. We have 6 returning players and a lot of new faces coming up. That's what all these kids look forward to, is kind of wearing the jersey for the actual first time and getting to play in front of their family and friends.
You and I were talking off mic before the interview started about what the training camp structure is. I know there's been some changes. The season starts a little bit later than it used to. What does training camp look like at the U15 level?
We didn't do any exhibition games this past year. It's kind of been all scrimmages this year. We have certain deadlines we got to be down for with the roster size. So we kind of broke it down into 2 phases this year, where we went 4 inter-squad games. We released down to a certain number. And the remainder kind of came to our early bird tournament. And then we made our final decisions.
You know, as well, there's the Atlantic Challenge Cup. Players from your team would have gone to that event. Just tell us a little bit about that and who was representing the Cougars there in Nova Scotia.
We had a good year of representation from the island in our group. We had 4 players at the under 14 level. We had Luke Andrea, Ben Guthrow, Liam McLeod, Nate Pfeiffer. And at the under U15s, we had Tucker Sinclair and Charlie McLeod. And the 2 alumni with the U16, Brody Ford and Gavin Suds, who I'm sure represented us extremely well and their family. And they're all extremely talented hockey players, but really good people. We think they deserve the opportunity to be there this weekend.
This will be your second year behind the bench for the Cougars. For Mike Lyle, how different is it coming in now, having a bit more of a feel for the league?
It was an adjustment for sure, coming from midget to bantam. Last year, kind of going through it, just the age difference and the adaptation to kind of how you deal with players and how you go about certain things. But this year, as a coach and I think as a staff, I think collectively we're ready for this season. We were all first-year coaches at the bantam level last year. I think we had an extremely good year as a bench staff and as a team collectively. We're trying to take all the good things we did last year and even all the things that could have been better and turn all that into positives this season.
We talked last year when you were on the broadcast about how the under 15 level has changed since you played. You just missed the existence of the Cougars. And in the last few years, we've also seen the introduction of a provincial-wide under 13 league. From your perspective, how do you think that changes the Cougars program, having the U13 league feeding into it as opposed to the old system?
That's a good question. It's very unique for sure. A little bit tougher for us in Cape Breton with having the 2 teams, the county and Glace Bay, and having the associations join, where HRM has kind of the bigger areas, more population, so there's kind of more teams in their backyard. But flip side of it, I guess, would be they're on the road a little bit more. They're kind of playing into what a major bantam and major midget schedule would look like. So that can help the adjustment for the kids as they move up from Atom to Pee-wee, Pee-wee to Bantam, Bantam to Midget. Hockey's so good now at the high levels, and the skill and the ability to have the best play against the best, no matter the age. It's always a good thing for the players.
I remember the first time I took in Major U15, and I was blown away. And you talked about the players that were playing at the Atlantic Challenge Cup. Tell us a little bit about your veteran core this year, your players who are going to age out at the end of the year, and what they're bringing to the team this season.
We returned 6 players this year. We have 3 forwards, and Sinclair, Gillis, and McLeod. And on the back end, we have Yinish and Berman and Daniel Levac coming back in nets. We're very pleased with those 6 coming back. They had extremely good years as first-year players, which is tough to do, but they all played an important role on our team last year, and they had success. And I think the opportunity they received last year was well-earned and well-deserved, but that's only going to benefit this year as well. And this far, we couldn't be any happier with their summer on and off the ice and kind of how they come in ready and setting the tone early.
Talking to Mike Lyle, who is the head coach of the Joneljim Cougars in the Nova Scotia Under 15 Major Hockey League. Mike, just tell us, for those who don't follow the league, what does the schedule look like for the Cougars? How often do they play per week? How many games in the whole season?
For us, it's a 33-game season, 1 round, 2 out of 3 playoffs, and then into provincials. For us, typically, last year we're on home for 2 games, Saturday, Sunday, and then on the road the following for Saturday, Sunday, with 2 practices a week. This year it's a little bit different. We have a few back-to-back weekends on the road, and vice versa. We have a few back-to-back at home, which is good for both. Good to be home a little bit longer and good to be on the road and get some team bonding done too.
This is a team that was in the top half of the league last year. Do you have any expectations or idea where you'll fit this year? Is this looking to be a contending group?
I hope so. I think we're a long ways away from that. I think it's the same approach I've kind of taken since I've started coaching is we're just going to take it one day at a time, one practice, one game. It's pretty cliche. But at the end of the day, it's all about development and helping the kids get better as better people and better hockey players. And I believe if we check all those boxes and continue to get better each and every week with the guys we have and the capability we have, I don't see any reason why we couldn't go contend.
We wish you the best of luck on the ice and off the ice this year, Mike. Thanks for this.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Pat.
That is Mike Lyle, former Eagles forward and current head coach of the Joneljim Cougars in the Nova Scotia Under-15 Major Hockey League. You're listening to the intermission of Celtic Kubota, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.